Cincinnati wide receiver Tyler Scott is a Chicago Bear. Welcome into Bears Now by Chat Sports. I'm Harrison Graham. Ryan Poles has made another pick, and I got to say, folks, another pick that I like. Best player available situation here. Tyler Scott, the wide receiver out of Cincinnati, round 4, pick number 133 overall, falls to Chicago here. And I got to be honest, I am stunned that he fell to this point in the NFL draft. Dane Brugler had him as a second-round grade. Our own Tom Downey had him as a second-round grade and a top 60 player in this draft, and he falls to the Bears here late in the 4th round. You added Roschon Johnson earlier. Now you add Tyler Scott as you get back to the offensive side of the football here on day 3. Interesting story here. So you look at his measurables, just under 5'10", just under 180, so a little small, a little thin, but it's not like he's, 160, right? Like he's not like one of these super light receivers that haven't had a ton of success in the NFL. I mentioned Downey's ranking, number 7 receiver, number 56 overall player, and you get him at number 133. I like it. I'm never going to bicker when you take a best player available type of situation, and that's according to a lot of folks out there. Track speed, ran a 4.4. He's got good quickness and fluidity as you look at the scouting report here. Look at that second bullet point. Averaged 44.6 yards per catch or touchdown catch over his college career. Big play machine. Justin Fields is a big play quarterback. Production was limited at times, especially in the slot, given his profile, but the upside is there. The interesting story about him, he's a converted running back to the wide receiver position. So what does that tell me? That tells me he's got a multitude of skill set here. You could bring him on some jet sweeps. He's got the speed to go downfield vertically, get him the ball quickly in space. I wonder if the Bears view him as a return specialist potentially, as a punt or a kick returner. So we'll see what happens there. I also wonder what this could mean for Velus Jones. I think there is some skill set overlap here between Jones and Scott. Now, you can't have enough speedy guys that can do different things. I'm not sitting here saying, is Velus Jones going to get traded or cut? But, there's competition there for sure. You've got some depth at wide receiver all of a sudden, so keep that in mind as well. Grade the pick, A, B, C, D, or F. Call me a homer, call me whatever. I think I'm fair. I handed out 2 C grades yesterday, a C for Gervon Dexter and a C+ for Zach Pickens. I'm giving this an A because the value is too good, and you're still early enough in a rebuild that even if you don't feel like this is a top need, you're taking the best player out there. He's the best player available according to our big board, according to Dane Brugler's big board. So I think that's pretty notable, and obviously according to the Bears' big board as well. Here's what Brugler had to say about Tyler Scott. It says he's a work in progress in a few coachable areas, but high-end speed and short area suddenness allow him to consistently create his own separation. He adds immediate value as a gunner on special teams. There's a special teams value. And has Tyler Lockett upside as a starting NFL receiver. You get something similar to Tyler Lockett in the NFL draft, 4th round. Yes, sir. Tyler Lockett at times has been a number 1 receiver in his career and at least a number 2 for pretty much his whole career. If he's anywhere close to that, you found this kid at 133, sign me up. You see the big play potential there, almost 17 yards per catch on 54 catches, 899 yards, 9 touchdowns. We mentioned how big those plays were as well, 44-plus yards per catch on those touchdowns. Big play machine. I love it. Tyler Scott to Chicago. One of us. Hey, you out there, subscribe to the channel, trying to grow this show here on Chicago Bears Now. We're hopefully going to reach 66,000 subscribers as soon as possible. Hit that sub button. It's youtube.com/Bears Now. We're going to keep you guys in the loop with the latest Chicago Bears news and rumors, so don't miss any of it here on the channel. Okay, so let's take a look at receiver. Obviously, we haven't added Tyler Scott yet, but we will. Your top 3 is pretty obvious, unless there's a shakeup in camp, right? DJ Moore, Darnell Mooney, Chase Claypool. Equanimeous St. Brown is kind of a backup, big receiver type, has some special teams value. Velus Jones Jr., I mentioned him. Dante Pettis, I mentioned him. I think Tyler Scott right away kind of gets similar work that those two guys, and in an ideal world, he ends up supplanting them. Look, I want Velus Jones to work out, but if he does it and Tyler Scott does, so be it. I want the best players to play, period, when it comes to the Chicago Bears, and I think Scott is a guy who can contribute as a rookie. I really do. Doesn't mean he's going to be a starter, but I think he'll have special teams impact early on. I think he'll get snaps that can do some different things as a gadget player, and then continue to develop and fine-tune those wide receiver skills like route running, beating press coverage and stuff like that. So I'm excited about this pick. Second round grade, you get him late in the fourth. I mean, that's value, folks. That is value. You look at the testing stuff. 4.37 in the 40, 2.56 in the 20 as well. The vert is off the charts, 39.5 inches. The broad, over 11 feet. I mean, whew, I'm excited. Athletic freak, Tyler Scott out of Cincinnati. So you add a second offensive skill weapon on day 3. You get Roschon Johnson, more of a physical bruising back. You add Tyler Scott, a speedy guy who can do some different things at receiver. Hell, who knows? Maybe you line him in the backfield some because he has that running back profile before switching positions. I'm feeling good about day 3 here. I know a lot of you are going to say, what about edge? What about edge? You were never going to fix all your needs overnight. Yeah, you got to get some edge help. Maybe you go sign a Yannick Ngakoue. Maybe you add someone later in the draft. I think that could still happen to at least give you some depth. Pass rush is a big need, but this was never a one-year rebuild. Add good players. I think the Bears have done that as you continue to rebuild this roster. You look at the Bears draft profile, edge is the one spot that hasn't been penciled in, but you can't force it. If an edge isn't near the top of your best players available, are you going to take a guy who you think could be a really good player, or are you going to reach for an edge? I'd rather take the good player, especially if it's another weapon for your offense. I think the Bears are trying to position themselves to take a huge step forward offensively. I really do. You get DJ Moore. That was a critical part of the trade. You get Nate Davis. You get Darnell Wright. You add another tight end in Robert Tonyan. You add Deontay Foreman in the backfield. You get Roschon Johnson. You get Tyler Scott. So I like it. Tyler Scott to Chicago Bear. And listen, more picks to come, so we'll see what the Bears do next. But this is going to be fun. 148 just around the corner. We'll break down that pick. 165, we'll break down that as well. And then the Bears have a couple of 7s. I wouldn't be surprised if they traded down for one of their next picks to maybe get a pick or 2 in the 6th round just to bridge that gap a little bit between round 5 and round 7. So if they do that, we'll obviously alert you guys of that also. Appreciate everybody for watching this breakdown of Tyler Scott. Let us know who you want the Bears to draft next, as they still have a few picks to come in this NFL draft. Drop a name down in the comments. Who would you like to see Chicago pick up next in this NFL draft? And we will break that down when they do draft said player, which is why you should subscribe to the channel and keep it locked in here on Chicago Bears Now, your home for Bears content here on YouTube.